Welcome back, everybody, to the Madden 07 Albuquerque Vipers franchise. Today we have a potential Super Bowl preview between two of the best teams in the NFL, the 10-2 Oakland Raiders and the one-loss Albuquerque Vipers. Taking a look at the preview of this game, it is predicting a slight Albuquerque win. We do have the home field advantage after all. Both of these teams are coming into this game with backup quarterbacks though. Chad Hamilton, rookie running back out of Wyoming for the Raiders, is the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, but as you can see here, they are without star quarterback Alex Malone in his first season in Oakland. He is going to be dearly missed by them after putting up some very good numbers. Meanwhile, of course, we've been without Orlando Cross for a good majority of the season. We're also without one of our best cornerbacks and our star center, where I have to see if Antonio McGuire can continue to fill in that role. He has had some good moments. He has also had some bad moments. These are two of the best defenses in the NFL, two of the best scoring offenses as well. This is going to be a good one. We are on top of our division. In fact, we have already won it. It looks like Albuquerque will be the only team in the NFC West with a winning record. We got the rookie out of K-State, John Mike Griffith, here on the kick return. He already returned one to the house this season. He gets a good one here out to the 35-yard line. Here's a look at Antonio McGuire's numbers this year, and he has been very productive. The interceptions and the sacks are a little bit high, though. His first pass of the game is going to be completed out here to Hakeem Morton, and on the first play from scrimmage, McGuire is limping off of the field. That is no good to see. Deron Daniels looking for another 1,000-yard season. He could maybe reach that in this game if he can get just under 100 yards. Burnsides is going to take a shot deep. He had Andrews open, but the second-year quarterback overshot him. Burnsides remains in the ball game, hands this one off to Daniels, who takes it to the left side of the field here, and he's going to get caught. On 3rd down and 5, now McGuire back in the ball game. Over the middle, he's got Morton, and that's just enough for the 3rd down conversion. Here goes Daniels to the right side. He had some good blocking in front of him, but the linebacker able to bring him down and force another 3rd down. McGuire looking for the conversion. He's got Daniels in the flat, and the running back's going to get pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. This drive going very good now for Albuquerque, floating this one to the end zone, and that's going to be on the money for Hakeem Morton, who continues to lead the league in touchdown receptions. While they don't have Malone, Parrish Walker is one of the higher-rated backup quarterbacks in the NFL. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception in his lone start that he has so far this season, as Tommy Wynn gets in there on the tackle, but he's shaken up on the play. As we saw, Hamilton is the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. The big knock on him, though, 7 fumbles already, which is very high. Hopefully, for the Raiders' sake, he can get that under control. Now on 3rd down and 4. First, we get an update on Tommy Wynn, and he's going to be out for the next 2 weeks with an elbow injury. That is not good to see, and this pass is nearly picked off by Holiday. The Raiders are lucky they get to punt this football away. Now out in the I formation, here is Wolford, the rookie tight end, lined up at fullback for Albuquerque. He's going to pick up 7 yards on the ground there. Deron Daniels on the 2nd down and 3 carry is going to pick up an easy 1st down right there. Now McGuire looking to go back to the air, and he's looking to go deep, looking for Andrews, and he's got him. Jimmy Andrews tripped up at the goal line, a touchdown-saving tackle there. That's going to set up goal to go, where Deron Daniels is going to punch it in for 6. Albuquerque already with a 14-point lead, and it's going to get even worse for the Raiders. Parrish Walker rolls out and throws it directly into the hands of star cornerback Darren Gordon. That sets us up in prime position here to go up by 3 scores early in the first half, and somehow we're going to get away with it. Nash with the reception over the middle. McGuire probably should have thrown a pick there, but it was just missed on the play by that Raiders DB. And at the end of the first quarter, it is 21-0. This Raiders team has not showed up today, while Albuquerque has been firing on all cylinders. We're into the second quarter of play now, and the Raiders are looking for the conversion. They're going to give it to Spencer Taylor, who was their star running back a season ago. Kind of confused why he didn't get the start, although it is working out for them, and he goes nowhere on 3rd down. Deron Daniels on the carry is going to go right up the middle, brought down there by Blake Pritchett, the reigning defensive rookie of the year from last season. He's going to have to limp off of the field, though. That's going to lead to a 3rd down and 5, and McGuire takes way too long on the play. He's going to be brought down by Tay Frazier, a pretty good pass rusher for this Raiders team. Their defense finally able to get a stop. Now, what can their offense do? Here goes Hamilton taking it to the left side of the field there and picking up a quick Raiders first down. Now Walker rolling out to his left. He has a strikeout there to Jermaine George. The veteran receiver picks up another quick first. Now on 2nd down and 11, Walker rolling to his right. He's going to throw. He's got Hamilton trying to get away from the defense, and he picks up a solid gain. That was just Walker's second completion of the ball game now. Setting up the screen here for Chad Hamilton. Makes Hester miss, and he picks up about 5 yards right there. 2nd down and 5. They come out in the I formation, but they're looking to throw. Jermaine George on the catch on the right side of the field there. Gordon gave him plenty of cushion. Offset I now, and Spencer Taylor is in the ballgame, and the former Panther and high draft pick picks up 7 yards right there. He checks out again. Hamilton is back in. He's got some good blocking. Makes the first man miss, and I think he got tackled just over that first down marker, setting up goal to go. Toss play out here for Hamilton. He's getting some good blockers. Tripped up 5 yards shy of pay dirt. 2nd down and goal now coming out in the shotgun. Walker taking a shot to the end zone. That's going to be caught by Lamar James. Another former Carolina Panther is in for 6, and the Raiders finally get on the board. Now the Vipers looking to put together a 2-minute drill here to extend their lead before half, but that is not very helpful. A loss of 12 on the sack. The pass rush is on here, but we get it out to Glenn Nash on that left side of the field. 3rd down and 7, looking for the conversion. The quick throw is going to fall incomplete, and I'm not sure if Andrews was ready for that pass. So now the Raiders trying to do something before the end of the first half. Off in the play fake, taking a shot deep, and it's going to fall incomplete here, meaning Albuquerque will get it back with 20 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like they're going to stay aggressive. McGuire takes a deep shot here. It's going to be caught. Hakeem Martin tripped up inside of the 10, and the Vipers will use their first timeout. Trying to punch this into the end zone now. McGuire's going to throw that one on the move. Just off the mark here. And will they try another attempt? No. They will send out Koch for a 25-yard field goal attempt. That's going to leave 3 seconds left on the clock. Jermaine George here on the kick return for the Raiders, and he's going to get into open space across midfield. Coleman is giving chase. I'm not sure he's going to catch him in time, though. No, he is not. And that's how the first half is going to end. The Raiders showing a little bit of life, only down by 10. It's also helpful for them that they get the football to open up the third quarter of play, although they face a 3rd down and 9. Lamar James is there at the sticks for the conversion, though, as the Raiders are coming to life here, and they might just have a comeback after being down 21-0. Nice run there by the fullbacks, going to pick up a first down and get them out to midfield. Now Hamilton coughed up the football. We know he has had issues with those throughout this rookie campaign of his, but the Raiders do recover. Looking for another 3rd down conversion. Walker goes over the middle, and he's going to be intercepted by Hawthorne. The rookie linebacker stepping in for the injured Tommy Wynn, and he makes a big play right there. Now McGuire trying to avoid going 3 and outs, and we almost did, but Nash got hit hard on the play there, and we're going to have to punt this football back to Oakland. They're going to come out in the I formation. They can still run the football if they need to. There's still plenty of time on the clock. And that's going to be a 6-yard gain there by Hamilton. Fake the give to him. Now Walker's going to go over the middle, and it's going to be caught by Roll, making a nice catch in traffic there. But here they go, faced with a 3rd down and 9. Walker with a clean pocket, airing this one out to the left, but just a little bit too far out of bounds. Otherwise, it could have been a huge play. Albuquerque once again is going to be faced with a 3rd down, and once again, they're going to be just short as Hakeem Morton does cross the century mark on that reception there. Nonetheless, we still had to punt it back to Oakland. Here goes Hamilton on the right side as this ground game is playing very good. They have had one of the best games against us through the ground so far today, but it hasn't mattered, at least not yet. That's another solid run there by Hamilton, making it 2nd down and inches with under a minute left to go here in the 3rd. Hamilton with another carry is going to get on the Albuquerque side of the field as now we enter the 4th quarter of play. Pass is going to be caught by Buckley, tight end over the middle, moves the chains. 9:30 left to go in the game. Here goes Hamilton, bouncing this one to the outside, and he is really getting going right now. The Raiders continue to run the football now. It's not broken, so don't need to change it up here as that run's going to pick up 7. Now looking to go through the air. Pass out is going to be caught by Buckley, and the tight end is going to get taken down at the goal line. Just 1 yard away from pay dirt. They're going to give it to Hamilton. He dives across the plane, and the Raiders are coming back, making it a 3-point game. Can Antonio McGuire and this offense put some more points up on the board, or are we going to go 3 and out again and give them the football back? Here on third down, it's going to be a toss play for Daniels, and the DB does a great job getting off of his block and making the tackle there, forcing another Vipers punt. So with just under 6 minutes left to play, the Raiders have an opportunity to take the lead and go downfield, but instead, Darren Gordon gets his second interception of the afternoon, and that could be a huge one right there. In fact, I would go so far to say it already is a huge one, as long as we don't give him the football right back. Beautiful pass out there to Marco Wolford, tight end out of Arizona State, makes a big play. Daniels on the right side coughs up the football, and we give it right back to Oakland after getting the turnover of our own. What will the Raiders offense do with it? Well, they're going to continue to run the football. In fact, I would imagine it is their goal to make this the final drive of the game if they can punch this one into the end zone with under 4 minutes left to play. Hamilton now over the century mark, not quite able to get the first down right there though. They are only 1 for 7 on third down today. They went to throw for it there. Surprising play call as the running game is working so well for them. They're going to punt the football back to us, and now it's up to their defense to get them the football one more time, as we're going to try to run out the rest of this clock and get out of here with a dub. Solid run right there, and that's going to bring us down to the 2-minute warning now. Handoff is going to go to Ben Strong, and the fullback not going very far there as the Raiders have started to burn their timeouts. They only have 1 left. Crucial 3rd down and 7. Quick throw is going to be caught. Glenn Nash out to the 30, and that's going to be very close to making us be able to run out the rest of this clock. Daniels taking this one to the right side, trying to get the first down. He gets tackled over the marker, and that's going to do it. Albuquerque would just knee out the rest of the clock, and despite not scoring any points in the second half, we were able to hold on and take down the Raiders in the battle of the backup quarterbacks here. And who knows, if both of these starters get healthy, it could be a Super Bowl matchup. Looking at the results from Week 14, the Vikings hold off the Dallas Cowboys, who are trying to make a playoff push. The Giants are going to take down the Bears by 3 points. New York also looking for a playoff push. The Falcons and Buccaneers did battle. You have the Redskins taking down the Texans. The Colts blow out the New York Jets, showing that they are one of the best teams in the AFC. The battle of disappointing teams here, Packers versus Eagles. Green Bay gets the win. Chiefs take down the Broncos, 2 pretty good teams in the West out there. You have the Steelers taking down the Carolina Panthers. The Bengals 11-2 after beating the Ravens. The Jags get a big upset over Tennessee, who was trying to make the playoffs. The Browns take down the Chargers. You have the 49ers inside of our own division beating the Cardinals. The Dolphins get just their 3rd win of the season against the Buffalo Bills. Sunday Night Football, Saints are going to take down the Seahawks, and on Monday night, it's the Lions over the Patriots. Your players of the week include Michael Brown with over 200 yards from scrimmage and 3 total touchdowns, while Brad Andrews had a pick 6 and that blowout win over the Jets. Jermaine Greer with a big game as well, a $145 and 2 touchdowns, and then James Brooks with a pick 6 and a fumble recovery for the Lions. Our next opponent is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. It is our final divisional game, but the media is predicting a San Francisco upset. I'm not quite sure what they're seeing other than maybe a trap game. The Niners were nearly a playoff team a season ago, going 9-7, just missing out. It has been a much worse year for Rob Miller and company now. He's going to start off the game by airing this one out deep on the left side, and his man has a step. Michael Gamble down at the 50. That is one way to open up your game against one of the best teams in the NFL. Tracy Smelly looking to reach that 1,000-yard mark in his first year for the red and gold after a pretty good career in Chicago. 3rd down and 9, Rob Miller airing this one out to the end zone, trying to find Smelly there. It's going to be incomplete, so the Vipers defense, after giving up a huge play, is going to hold San Francisco to a 27-yard field goal attempt. That's going to give the 49ers the early lead, but here goes Albuquerque wearing their home jerseys away as San Francisco's rocking some old throwbacks here, and that solid run is going to be negated by a holding call against Cobb. Daniels is going to get the carry again, but doesn't go quite as far as he did on 1st down. 3rd down and 17 now. McGuire is going to step up into this throw. He got hit as he let that one go, allowing that linebacker to knock that pass away. San Francisco goes 3 and out, or actually they force the 3 and out after getting the big play on offense themselves. Now they're looking to extend their lead, but they have to convert on 3rd down and 8, but Albuquerque sent the cornerback blitz in, and that's going to get the sack and force a 49er punt. Play fake now, McGuire stepping up into this throw, floating it into dangerous territory, and that's going to be intercepted by Fernando Hodges. Floated right to him. He thought he had his man open, but Hodges came off of Morton to get the big play, and San Francisco has some great field positioning, and somehow in triple man coverage, Michael Gamble comes down with that. It has been all San Francisco early in this one. Tracy Smelly taken down by the safety, Jerry Gray. 2nd down and 3 after that run, faking the give to the fullback, and Smelly's going down in the backfield. It's the defensive tackle, Prince Harrison, making it 3rd down and 6. Miller faking the give, and immediately under pressure as Robbie Berger continues his great first season for the Vipers, and that's going to hold San Francisco to another field goal attempt. Albuquerque still only down by 6 here after going 3 and out on their initial drive, and then throwing the interception. There goes Daniels for a pickup of 4. Now on 3rd down and 6, that pass is going to be knocked away. He had Nash open there, but you got to put a little bit more touch on it. Play fake now, and this pass just over the head of the DB, and here goes Michael Gamble down the left sideline. He already has 1 big play in this first quarter. Make it 2 now after that catch and run down the left sideline. San Francisco leads 13-0. Daniels with a solid run right there. It is still the first quarter, obviously. We have a long way to go. We cannot abandon the ground game, only being down by 2 possessions. But how about a big play through the air? Jimmy Andrews with the reception, and he's in for 6. Albuquerque gets on the board. How does San Francisco respond to that, though? Maybe with a chunk play of their own. Pittman on the right side has a big play, tack on some extra yardage after a roughing the passer penalty against Harrison. Tracy Smelly on the run to the right side there. He's going to pick up a 1st down and more, giving San Francisco goal to go as they look to extend their lead. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. No, they're going to say he's shy of the end zone. It also wouldn't matter because there was holding on the play. That's going to push them way far back here for goal to go. Kistler on the reception again, nearly gets pushed into the end zone, luckily stopped at the 1-yard line, meaning San Francisco has to settle for a 3rd field goal already. It is just the beginning of the 2nd quarter. Here's a high snap for McGuire on 3rd down. He's got Wolford, who makes a nice reception right there and is shaken up on the play after getting brought down on that conversion. Looks like he's going to be out for the remainder of this game. That's not good to see, as we've been getting him more and more involved in the offense now, as we've started lining him up at fullback from time to time. 3rd down and 10 here for McGuire, floating that one out right. It's going to be caught, John Mike Griffith, and there is no catching the speedy rookie. He is gone down the right sideline, and Albuquerque's going to make it a 2-point game. Kistler on the kick return here for San Francisco is going to pick up some solid yardage right there, and he's a little bit shaken up. He's been heavily involved in this 49ers offense today, so losing him could be big. Fake the give now. Miller looking to throw. He's going to go over the middle, and he's got Clyde Sheldon, the rookie receiver, stepping in for the injured Kistler, who looks like could return late in this ball game. Draw play here for Smelly, but he's not going to be going very far as Andre Hawthorne makes a big tackle. Remember, Tommy Wynn got hurt in last week's game. He is not here today, and there is Robbie Berger getting another big sack as he continues to lead the league in sacks. Deron Daniels on the ensuing Vipers drive now gets a nice run, and he's going to get pushed what looked to be over the 1st down marker, but no, instead we're going to run it now on 3rd down and short, and San Francisco gets a big 3-yard loss. So now their offense is looking to go downfield and put together this 2-minute drill to give them a 2-possession lead, or at least extend it if they're held to a 4th field goal. Miller pumps, and now he's looking to go deep, and he has a man wide open. I don't know what happened, but Clyde Sheldon is in the end zone. The rookie just beat one of the best corners in the NFL on what looked to be a blown coverage. Now Albuquerque's looking to go downfield and hopefully cut into this lead here before halftime. McGuire looking to throw again. He's got Morton making the first man miss and picking up 5 or 6 yards on the play. Make it 7. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 now. McGuire going to his 3rd read. It's going to be Von Lewis, the big tight end, gets out across midfield. Albuquerque burns a timeout there. It's 3rd down and 8. McGuire looking to throw. He's got time, pumps, and ultimately doesn't see anything open downfield. He's going to be sacked, and that's going to take us to the break where the Niners have a 2-possession lead. Albuquerque will be getting the football to start the second half of play, and now here goes Daniels to the right side of the field, picking up about 9 yards right there. On 3rd down and inches, faking the give to the tight end Abraham, who's in there at fullback, and there goes Daniels picking up the 1st down. Abraham again in there at fullback, but we're going to throw this one out to Hakeem Morton, and the star wideout gets us out to midfield. I formation, but looking to throw out of it. There's the reception by Clyde Abraham, a 6th-round pick for us. That's his first ever NFL reception. It's going to be a 5-yard gain. Floating pass out. Here's going to be caught by Von Lewis. The big 6'7" tight end comes down with that one there. Jeremy O'Sullivan in the game now. He hasn't gotten too many touches as of late. He's going to pick up 4 yards right there. Now on 3rd down and 5, Morton's going to throw. He's got him in traffic, or he's got Morton in traffic as McGuire was looking to throw. Now Clyde Abraham in the ball game. He's going to run it and get brought down at the goal line. Handoff to O'Sullivan now trying to punch it in for 6, and that's exactly what he does. Albuquerque makes it a 2-point game yet again. Here goes Tracy Smelly on the ensuing San Francisco drive. Now he's going to pick up a good chunk of 7 yards there on 1st. Morton throwing that one over the middle, and a good connection there to Michael Gamble as Miller, former Lions quarterback, is over 300 yards passing today against one of the best defenses in the NFL. He has had a spectacular ball game, and Tracy Smelly has not been half bad himself. Into the 4th quarter of play already, 3rd down and inches, and Smelly is going to fight for it, keeping this 49ers drive alive. If they can get this one into the end zone, that's going to be very helpful for their cause. Nice catch there by Javon Pittman. That's going to make it 2nd down and inches. Handoff is going to go to Smelly. It's going to be another San Francisco 1st down. 8 minutes left to go in the game. Now Smelly with the carry, but Chris Diggs with a huge tackle for loss, forcing a 3rd downer and long. Kindry is going to get the play. Raven Kindry was their 1st-round pick from a year ago. He was very good as a rookie. I'm kind of confused why he's not getting a lot of touches here in his 2nd season, as he had a good gain right there. But San Francisco will be forced to kick a field goal, meaning a Vipers touchdown would give us the lead. We have 5.5 minutes to punch this one into the end zone, and here goes Jeremy O'Sullivan. He's going right up the gut, picking up a Vipers 1st down. Now McGuire looking to go to the air. He's got time in the pocket, and he's got an open Jimmy Andrews. That is now 5 straight completions for Antonio McGuire. Daniels going up the middle on this one. He's going to pick about 5 yards on the ground. That's going to lead to a 3rd down and 3. Quick throw by McGuire is going to be caught. Andrews on the left side of the field has got it. And don't look now, but we're already nearing the 2-minute warning. Albuquerque might just make this the final drive of the game. Handoff is going to go to Daniels. He's busting it right up the middle, and that's going to be another Vipers 1st down as this clock is nearing the 1-minute mark now. Daniels on the right side pulls out the stiff arm, and I think he was able to stay in bounds. No, they're going to rule him out. Jeremy O'Sullivan in the ball game now, taking this one to the right side of the field, and this clock is going to continue to tick. 39 seconds left on it now. O'Sullivan still in the ball game, looking for his 2nd touchdown of the day. He's not going to get it here. Under 20 seconds left to play now. Fullback give. He's going to be denied. That's going to bring up 4th down and inches. Game on the line. Toss play here to O'Sullivan, and it's too easy. The C4 special, he gets in, and Albuquerque's going to take their first lead of the ball game with under 20 seconds left to play, and the sideline is hyped. Now for the 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. McGuire throwing this one into the flat. It's going to be caught by Abraham, but his momentum takes him out of bounds, meaning San Francisco has a chance, but they only have 9 seconds. Miller can't get the pass out as Chris Diggs got to him very quickly there on just a 3-man rush. Play fake, and Diggs again with a big play. He's going to get the sack. San Francisco burns a timeout. This looks like it's going to be the last play of the game, assuming there's no defensive penalty. Kistler, he's back in the ball game, but he's going to be denied any form of big yardage right there as Albuquerque puts together a great 6-minute drive at the end of the game to take the lead very late in it and get a big win here, avoiding a scare in San Francisco. Looking at the other games throughout Week 15, the Vikings get a big win over Buffalo. Ravens, they take down the Dolphins as they're trying to make a playoff push. The Texans fall to the Raiders. You have the Panthers losing to the Bears. Cowboys lost to the Colts. Chargers get a nice win there over the Patriots. 2 kick return touchdowns for Pittsburgh, but it didn't matter. They still lost by 21 points. Titans are going to beat the Giants. 2 safeties for the Falcons in a loss here to the Redskins, despite those 2 big defensive plays on their team. You have the Saints taking down the Buccaneers here by 6 points. Of course, you saw our game. Jacksonville's going to take down the Eagles, who might actually be the worst team in the NFL after winning the Super Bowl last year. Crazy stuff going on in Philly. Broncos take down the Cardinals. Chiefs, who we're going to play next week, take down the Seahawks. Lions over the Packers in prime time. And then on Monday Night Football, the Jets fall to the Browns. Your key players, once again, Michael Brown, over 300 yards from scrimmage and 5 touchdowns. We're going to have our hands full next week. 3 interceptions and a touchdown, as well as a fumble recovered for the Jags DB. They're a big reason why they were able to put up 38. Bill Sanders with a big game, 2 touchdowns for him, and then Baird had a pick 6. This is going to be another potential Super Bowl preview, I would say. Kansas City is very good, and I'm surprised that they are sitting at 8-6 at this point of the season. Michael Brown is one of the favorites to win MVP right now, and Antonio McGuire is number 3 in the rankings, though. This is a battle of potential MVP candidates right here, and another potential Super Bowl matchup, especially if Kansas City can win it. The presents have been opened. The dinner has been eaten. It is Christmas night here at Arrowhead. Sit back, relax, take an evening nap here. We've got some Christmas Day football. Vipers versus Chiefs, 2 of the best teams in the NFL. I am surprised that Kansas City is sitting at 8-6 and fighting for their playoff lives right now, as they have maybe the best running back in football and a pretty darn good quarterback too, both of whom attended Syracuse University, not at the same time though, but they do have that connection there. Michael Brown, of course, he was part of that draft class where we actually took a running back above him, but right now the story is about Dwayne Carter throwing it directly to Darren Gordon, his 3rd interception in this video. He has been having an unbelievable end of this season. Here goes Daniels on the carry, setting up 3rd down and 5. McGuire looking to take full advantage of the interception. He's going to throw that one on the move to John Mike Griffith, and the rookie receiver gets out to the 31. Sends the tight end out in motion. Daniels with a good run right here, and that is a good block by Marco Wolford, but Santiago was caught holding. That's going to make a 1st down and 20. Kansas City's going to send some heat, so we're going to take a shot deep. Hakeem Morton down inside of the 5, testing that one-on-one coverage. Handoff is going to go to O'Sullivan. He's going to get tripped up short. Now on 3rd down and goal, Daniels is in for 6. Touchdown Albuquerque, who takes the early lead. Dwayne Carter looking to throw. He's got time and an open man, but a bad pass leads him out of bounds. Kansas City goes 3 and out. It has not been a good start here. If you're a Chiefs fan coming to this game after Christmas, that is not the present that you wanted to receive early. 2nd down and 4 after that carry. Daniels is going to be shut down right there. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. McGuire wants to throw for it. He's got Wolford, who's back and healthy for this game, picking up the 3rd down conversion. Blake O'Sullivan, or Jeremy O'Sullivan, excuse me, is in the ball game. He's going to go right up the gut there, picking up 5 yards on the ground. Give him the football again, bouncing it to the left side of the field, and that's going to be another Albuquerque 1st down. Less than a minute to go here in the 1st quarter of play. Wolford in the flat again on the reception, and again, he's going to be a little bit shaken up on the play, grabbing at his head, a possible concussion, I'm afraid. Daniels going right up the gut here, and that's going to be a solid run, picking up a 1st down and sending us to the 2nd quarter of play. McGuire airing this one out on the left, and that's going to be caught by Jimmy Andrews down inside of the 10. Goal to go now. Handoff is going to go to Daniels, and he's going to pick up over half of it right there. We get an update on Marco Wolford. He suffered a pinched nerve. Luckily, he will return to the ball game. This pass now is going to be caught in the flat by Vaughn Lewis, and he's in for 6. Albuquerque making it a 14-point game. And this is looking very similar to our game against the Raiders, another one that was advertised as being a potential Super Bowl preview where Albuquerque got out to a huge lead. Carter floating that one to the right side. It's going to be caught by Bob Samuel, second-year tight end out of Alabama. It's going to make it 3rd down and 1. Carter looking to throw, going over the middle, and Gordon nearly had his 2nd interception. Carter just giving out gifts out here like he's the big fat man out here. He is wearing red, but unfortunately that is not what Kansas City wants to be doing, as we're just going to be going deep on 3rd down and long. Just had to try something, testing the one-on-one coverage deep, but it wasn't there. Kansas City's offense has been sputtering early on in this game. Bob Samuels, one of the lone contributors that has really been working for him today, and this is after a big game by Michael Brown, over 300 yards from scrimmage and 5 total touchdowns, but maybe he's gassed after getting all those carries. Carter looking to throw over the middle. He's got Myers, but I'm afraid it's not going to stand, holding on the play. Play fake now. Carter's going to pump and fire over the middle, and who else but Bob Samuels? He was big for them in the playoffs a season ago, even though they did go one and done. He had a big game for them in their loss. That was a beautiful throw out to May, getting it right over the quarterback's head right there, but Carter on that beautiful pass got a little banged up on the play, and he's going to have to check out of the ball game after making it a 7-point affair. There goes Carter right up the middle, or Deron Daniels, excuse me, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Pass out here is going to be caught by Vaughn Lewis. He already has a tight end today, or a touchdown today. He gets out to the 50-yard line now, the tight end with a nice catch and run. McGuire dropping back to throw as Kansas City's going to send a 5-man pressure there. It gets picked up beautifully by the offensive line, and Morton has the 1st down. McGuire looking to throw again, and he's got Wolford, Cabrani Wolford, spinning off of tacklers and out to the 20-yard line now. High snap here for McGuire, who surveys the field. He's got a clean pocket. Nash steps out of bounds after making that reception. Update here on Carter. He suffered a dislocated shoulder, and it looks like he should return to the game late, but can Kansas City keep the game close? That was certainly a read right there. Maybe quadruple or quintuple man coverage. This pass over the middle is going to be caught despite the double man coverage. Wolford comes down with it at the goal line. Daniels looking to punch it in, but he's going to be denied right there. 3rd down and goal with 8 seconds left. High snap here for McGuire. Under some pressure, didn't want to force anything into the end zone. Albuquerque burns their final timeout, and Koch is looking to make this a 10-point game with this 30-yard field goal attempt, which is up and good, giving us a 2-possession lead. Albuquerque also gets the football to open up the second half of play. Now here goes Daniels on the carry, picking up about 5 or 6 yards on the ground right there, as Kansas City's looking to hold us to a 3-and-out. McGuire with the pass. It's going to be caught by Wolford back in the ball game. He has been playing some good football late down the stretch here. On another 3rd down, it's going to be caught. Jimmy Andrews off to the races down the left sideline. Good night. He is gone. Touchdown Albuquerque, as they're going to extend their lead. Second-year quarterback out of Northwestern State, Jamie Clark, is in the ball game, and he's immediately going to be taken down by Darrell Fannin. 3rd down and 12. Clark looking to throw, but he takes way too long to make his read. Chris Diggs with a big sack, and Kansas City goes 3-and-out. Things are starting to look kind of bleak here on Christmas night. Wide open downfield, it's going to be Glenn Nash at the 20. He's not the fastest in the world, though, caught from behind. Another one of our receivers might have been able to take that one the distance. Now McGuire looking to go to the end zone, and Vaughn Lewis has his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Or of the night, I should say. After trading 3-and-outs now, we're going to be punting the football back to Kansas City, and it's going to be muffed, and the returner can't even jump on top of it. Albuquerque gets it with Rutger, the rookie's first big play, our 7th-round pick, having a nice impact right there. Now trying to extend our lead, but McGuire, after a pump fake, is going to be taken down for a 9-yard loss. Ultimately, that drive would result in a Brian Koch field goal to make it 34-7 here as we fast forward late into the 4th quarter. Dwayne Carter is back into the ball game. He's going to take way too long to make his read, and Harrison's going to get there. Under 5 minutes left to play, Carter throws over the middle. It's going to be caught by Myers, and I think they're going to give him the first down. Yes, they will. Faced with another third down, they are just 1 for 5 on third down tonight. Carter looking to throw, but he's going to be sacked by Robbie Berger, the former Kansas City Chief, with a big play. From there, Albuquerque would just run out the rest of this clock, and a very disappointing Christmas night for fans here at Arrowhead as the Chiefs lay an egg, and their playoff chances are feeling very slim at the moment. Some other big games throughout Week 16. On Christmas Eve, you have the Eagles taking down the Minnesota Vikings. A big upset there as it is a playoff rematch from a season ago. Ravens take down the Patriots. Bills lose a big one there to the Browns. Texans get thumped by the Titans. Bears are going to take down the Packers. They love to see that. 49ers over the Redskins. A big win for them. The Redskins, a playoff hopeful team, and they still have a pretty good chance. Colts are going to take down the Jags. The Bengals are going to lose to the Jets. 2 playoff teams, it looks like there. Buccaneers over the Giants. You have the Lions falling to the Cowboys. A nice upset there by Dallas. Falcons over the Cardinals. You have the Broncos and Chargers playing Raiders and Seahawks, Dolphins and Steelers. And then finally on Monday Night Football, the Panthers get an upset against New Orleans. Luther McDowell had 3 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals, while Jimmy Ward had a pick 6 in that big game against the Texans. Blake with over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's how you get your third win of the season. Ryan Browning with 2 interceptions and a touchdown on Monday Night Football. We have now secured ourselves home field advantage, but now we're looking to get our best record in franchise history. If we can take down the San Diego Chargers, we can go 15-1. The media thinks we're going to be taking it easy on them, but not so fast. No, we are not. It also hurts the Chargers that they are without star linebacker Walter. Yes, that is his real birth given name. You're going to have to ask his parents about that. I don't know why they did that to him. San Diego is led by Dejon Beasley. You may remember him from years past. He was an Albuquerque backup quarterback. He spent some time in Dallas. He has been their starter for the last 2 years now here in San Diego, but he might as well still play for Albuquerque because on the very first play from scrimmage, he threw it directly to Tommy Wynn, who is back from injury, and that's a bad missed pass there from Antonio McGuire. Second down and 10. Handoff is going to go to Daniels, and he has a nice run right up the middle there, picking up 7 yards. Third down and 3. McGuire throwing this one to the left side. It's going to be caught by Jimmy Andrews, who's trying to get to that 1,000-yard mark for the first time in his career. He has been so close so many times. Goal to go now, and that's going to be 30 touchdowns on the year for Antonio McGuire as Glenn Nash gets into the end zone. Joel Denham looking to get to the 1,000-yard mark before the end of the season in his second year here in San Diego. Before that, he was the running back for the San Francisco 49ers. Marco Truman, one of the few bright spots for this Chargers team. He is one of the best receivers in the NFL, and they're trying to feed him right here. He makes the catch off of the tip, but obviously both feet were out of bounds right there. Chargers defense is now going to send some heat, and Vaughn Lewis gets a wide open over the middle because of that, and that's going to be an easy 7 yards. Deron Daniels with some good blocking right up the middle. He is spinning and gets out to about the 40-yard line. It will be interesting to see how long Coach Billick does keep his players out here because, yes, we do want to get to 15-1, but at the same time, we don't want anyone getting banged up as we go into postseason play. McGuire looking to throw, flushed out to his left here, and he's just going to take off and run. He's not going to pick up the third down conversion there, though, marked 2 yards shy. Out comes Brian Koch now for a 38-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up and good. That makes it a 10-point game now. Dejon Beasley trying to get his offense onto the field. He fires a strike over the middle into the hands of Jerry Gray. That is 2 interceptions now for the safety in this one. He has been having quite the ball game already as Dejon Beasley is just giving out gifts like it's Christmas, but that was a week ago. Vaughn Lewis with a nice reception over the middle, picking up a quick first down. Now McGuire's going to flip this one over the middle to his big tight end, Lewis again, who is in a contract season, and it looks like it could be his final regular season game with the Albuquerque Vipers. Here goes Jimmy Andrews down the left sideline, and that's certainly going to help his case of getting to 1,000 yards. Now give it to him on the ground on the end around. Can he get himself a rushing touchdown? No, denied at the goal line. Some great defense there by San Diego. Nonetheless, we are still going to punch it into the end zone with Jeremy O'Sullivan to make it a 3-possession game. Beasley looking to throw over the middle, and it's another interception by Jerry Gray. 3 of them in the first half right here. He is having a career game. Fast forward to late in the second quarter now. Both teams have gone 3 and out several times, but that's a nice sack there by Roger Long. On third down now, Beasley is looking to throw, but now Chris Diggs is getting in there for a big sack. I do want to note, though, that Robbie Berger is looking for his 20th sack of the season, which would be a career high for him, as well as a franchise record for us. It would also mean he would lead the league in that category. Dejon Beasley a little bit shaken up on the play here, meaning Andre Reed is going to have to step up into the ball game, and he has a nice throw out to Linden on the left side of the field there, as they're trying to get into the end zone here before the end of the first half. Reed, he's got time in the pocket, stepping up into this one. I don't know how he didn't get sacked on the play, but that is a crazy arm that he just showed off right there. An unbelievable throw out to Marco Truman. That was close to 70 yards. That's going to take us to the break, where San Diego is now finally on the board. We're going to get the football to open up the second half now, as we're looking to extend our lead. And here is a rare Marcus Levy sighting in his second season. And that might be one of his best runs of the year. Breaking out a big one right there, as Teron Daniels might be done for most of this day now, as obviously we don't want him to get shaken up. Of course, Levy was solid as a rookie, but he just struggled with way too many fumbles late in the season last year, and then struggled in the preseason going into this season. 4th down and 4, the offense is going to stay on the field. Tight coverage on Marco Wolford, but McGuire still able to get that one into him with that really strong arm that he's got. He's going to lose the football here, though. Luckily, Watson, the right tackle, jumps on top of the fumble. 3rd down and 12 now. McGuire looking for the conversion, moving to his left. He's going to stop and pop. He's got Jimmy Andrews for about 12 or 13 yards right there. San Diego's going to send a little bit of a blitz. So we got Wolford in the flat. The tight end gets down inside of the 15. Faced with another 3rd down, it's going to be a high snap here from McGuire. Taken down by the Chargers, as they got a free rusher out there, meaning we're going to have to settle for another Brian Koch field goal, this one from 40 yards out. Dejon Beasley is back in the ball game here for San Diego. Can they score with him in the ball game? Well, you can if Marco Truman is getting big plays right like that. He is over 100 yards receiving today now. Under 50 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Green is in the ball game. He was actually their 1st-round pick from the NFL draft. I actually was saying that we should look out for him to be a potential Rookie of the Year candidate, but he couldn't even win the starting job down here in San Diego. Into the 4th quarter of play now after the sack, and down goes Dejon Beasley yet again. But none of these guys have been Robbie Berger. After a full start, it's going to be 3rd down and a mile. Beasley taken down by Chris Diggs. 4th down and 30. And even when you're down by 13 on 4th and 30, you got to punt. Nice reception made there by Hakeem Morton, who is still in the ballgame, as is Antonio McGuire, racking up these stats. This pass is going to be caught by Jimmy Andrews. He's going to cut this one up across midfield, and he's got to be inching near that 1,000-yard mark. He needed about 100 yards going into this game. Pass is going to be caught. This is Glenn Nash on the left side of the field there, picking up 9.5 yards. 2nd down and inches is going to be Levy taking this one to the right side. The power back gets a nice stiff arm there as he crosses the 30-yard line. Levy remains in the ballgame, and he's got some good blocking and open space. Levy looking for pay dirt. He is just barely going to cross the plane as Albuquerque gets into the end zone yet again, making it a 20-point ball game. Beasley stepping up into this throw. He's got Waters on the right side right there. Some confusion downfield, but now Beasley has to limp off of the field, shaken up for the 2nd time today. Last time Reed was in the ball game, he had a 70-yard pass here out to Truman. He's going to connect with him here for not quite as big of a gain, and now Andre Reed is out, meaning their 3rd-string quarterback Schultz is in the ball game. That's going to be a backwards pass, so it's not even going to be considered a pass. They're going to call it a run for Denham, who does pick up that 4th down conversion. They are 0 for 7 on 3rd down today. That is their first 3rd down conversion of the ball game. Make it 1 for 8 now as they continue to drive down the field. Beasley back into the ball game, pressured and incomplete pass right there. But they're going to be going for this on 4th down and 3. You might as well. They're down by 20. He's going to pump fake, and that's going to be sack number 20 for Robbie Berger, possibly the most influential free agent signing in franchise history. 2 minutes left to go in the game, and we're still looking to throw this football out, trying to air it out as we want to get Jimmy Andrews over that 1,000-yard mark, but not if Jeremy O'Sullivan's going to be chewing up all that yardage down the left sideline. Now, Andrews does get a little bit of a bonus, like, $100,000 extra if he does reach that 1,000-yard mark. And McGuire trying to get his wideout some solids right here, but San Diego is not going to let that happen. We're just going to settle for a field goal right here. Chargers trying to just play for some pride, and down goes Beasley yet again. He continues to get sacked. I believe that was John Kelly making the big play, and the pressure is going to force another incomplete pass with 31 seconds left on the clock. Despite this game being wrapped up, McGuire, he's going to force it to his man, but Seymour was ready. The Chargers knew exactly what this Albuquerque offense wanted to do here, and that's just going to be a needless interception on the stat sheet there for McGuire. But how about another bonus interception for Gordon? 4 interceptions in the last 4 games for him now, and from there, we're not going to throw any more dumb picks, and we're just going to have to see if Andrews did get to that 1,000-yard mark as we take a look at the season recap at the end of this video here, as San Diego finishes the season 5-11. Looking at some big games in Week 17, Seahawks lost to the Falcons, who are trying to make the playoffs. You have the Buccaneers going 6-10, same with the 49ers who beat them. Vikings get a big win over the Lions. They both finish 11-5. We'll see if that matters when it comes to the standings. Dolphins are going to beat the Browns. The Chiefs fall to the Titans, meaning no playoffs in Kansas City. Ravens take down the Jags. They also want to make a playoff push. You have the Jets over the Bills, Bears over the Patriots. Bengals go 13-3 as they take down Pittsburgh. Saints get an 8-point victory here over the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau. Cowboys are going to take down the Eagles by 20. Texans get a massive win over the Broncos, who are trying to make the playoffs for the first time in almost a decade. Panthers get a 2-point win over the Cardinals, who go 3-13. Giants are going to fall to the Redskins, and on Monday Night Football, for a first-round bye, the Colts get the win over the Raiders. And for your players of the week here, Jason Crawford, 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards for him, 2 sacks, and a pick for Damian Knight on the New York Jets. Levi Dotson had a big game for the Dallas Cowboys, and then Jerry Gray with his 3 interceptions wins Defensive Player of the Week. The regular season may be over, but don't go anywhere yet. We still have to recap all of it and also take a look at those wild card games. I'm going to start by looking at the schedule. This is the best record we have ever had, only suffering 1 loss. It happened to be a shutout. And then after that, we went on a run of scoring 27 or 24 points, 4 games in a row of scoring 24 points with a couple of 27s in there as well. I just thought that was interesting. It's also cool to see Cincinnati being one of the best teams in the NFL. They were one of the worst just a couple of seasons ago. Baltimore able to snag a wild card berth. Cleveland at 8-8. Steelers stick around 500 like they have been for the last 5 or so seasons. The Colts get the top seed in the AFC. Texans able to grab a wild card, and we know that this team can make some noise. Titans have never made the playoffs in this franchise. They've been so close so many times, but they still can't do it, and the Jags still suck. Over in the East, the Jets were the only team out here with a winning record. Buffalo crumbled in the second half of the season. New England got hit with some injuries, and the Dolphins just stink. The Raiders had a big off season, and it paid off. They went 12-4. The Broncos just barely missing out on what would have been their first playoff berth in about a decade. The Chiefs surprisingly missed the playoffs, and the Chargers go 5-11. The Lions win the NFC North for, I believe, just the second time in this franchise. The Vikings are a wild card team once again. The Bears and Packers not so hot. Over in the South, it's always the Saints and the Falcons. The Panthers and Buccaneers have never made the playoffs in this series. The Redskins come out here and win the East, as the Eagles surprisingly look like they are going to be holding the first overall pick after winning the Super Bowl. Definitely the worst Super Bowl hangover ever. The Ravens were really bad last year, going 6-10. But has this ever happened where a team wins the Super Bowl and then has the first overall pick? They earn the first overall pick? I don't think so. That is unbelievable. And then, of course, we won our division. The 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals were not great. When you take a look at the amount of points scored by teams, we have the best, while also having the best defense when it comes to scoring. We're the only team that held teams under 200 total points. Here's a look at the 2022 NFL playoff bracket. Of course, we got the top seed in the NFC. The Colts got the top seed in the AFC. Then you got the Bengals and the Raiders. Those are the three favorites to come out of this side of the bracket, but the Jets, Texans, and Ravens could also totally make some noise. Looking at our league leaders, Antonio McGuire with by far the best QBR in the NFL. He also had the most yards by over 200 over Max Hawk right here. Benji Barton was in third, then Tyrone Small and John Owens, despite the Eagles' bad season. McGuire also led the league in touchdown passes, 3 more than Benji Barton. Then you got John Owens with 25, 24 for Omar McGuire, no relation as far as I'm aware, and then Brian Johnson with 24 as well. Least amount of picks, Nate Thomas only threw 5, but he also only had 6 touchdowns. He missed a good chunk of the season. Same goes for Roy Williams. So a lot of these guys either got hurt or were backups who came in the absence of these starters. DeJon Beasley, 29 interceptions. He threw 4, of course, in that Chargers game that you just saw. Alan Thomas struggled his first year in Tampa Bay. Sparks, Morris, and Douglas, who is in the playoffs. The Texans, if they do lose and they are underdogs, it's likely going to be because of a reckless play by their young quarterback. How about 2,000 rushing yards for Lomas Gonzalez and 14 touchdowns? It wasn't quite enough to lead the league in both of those right there. He had 4.2 yards per carry. What a season by the Bengals' young running back. Jermaine Greer with 1,800 yards, 1,700 for Bill Sanders and Michael Brown. And our former running back, Jake Gordon, finished with 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. Of course, we already saw that Sanders had 16 to lead the NFL, 12 for John Martin in his first year in Jacksonville. He would cough up the ball a lot, 14, but Beasley is a quarterback, so a lot of the times quarterbacks will fumble the ball a lot. Rookie running back for the Raiders, Chad Hamilton, fumbled 8 times. That could be an issue for them in the playoffs. Kevin Clay was easily the best receiver this season for those New York Giants. He led in receptions ahead of the Chargers' Marco Truman, Dawson, Stanley, and Blake. He also had the most receiving yards, a lot of those same names up here as well, but Beal, his first year with Minnesota, went very well. Alderman had 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns, but it's Hakeem Morton and Cedric Blake who had the most receiving touchdowns with 12. A couple guys there with 11. Dawson had 10 for the 49ers. And then defensively, Andy Stewart, a big bright spot here for Jacksonville, 40 more tackles than Barry Williams. These Florida linebackers putting up a lot of numbers. Of course, you have a lot of Vipers up here when it comes to TFLs. 20 sacks for Robbie Berger. That is a franchise record. It is a career record for him, and of course, it leads the NFL. 1 more than Paul Holmberg. You have Hewitt with 17, 16 here for Denham, and then Gora, who has just been an elite pass rusher for the Raiders his entire career. Former first overall pick, well deserved from him. He's making the Pro Bowl this season. And then this Raiders defense has been really good. Michaels with 8 interceptions. That's going to tie him with Craig Newberry, veteran DB for the 49ers. And then you have a handful of guys here with 6, including Darren Gordon. Antonio McGuire stepped in week 2, and he has been our quarterback ever since that injury from Orlando Cross. He had 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns. The interceptions were a little bit high, as were the sacks, 46 times. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but it's also more than ideal. That small vision can definitely make things more difficult. James Burnsides came in. He went 10 of 16 throughout the season, just in garbage time or when McGuire had to step out with some minor injuries and whatnot. Orlando Cross is now 100% healthy for the playoffs, which could make things very interesting. He is also 36 years old, which practically guarantees that he's going to be retiring after this season, which can make things even more difficult for Coach Brian Billick to see who he wants to start or play in that playoff game. Is going to be very interesting to see. Deron Daniels with another 1,000-yard campaign. He had 6 touchdowns on 250 carries. just over 4 yards per carry, and he did cough up the football 4 times. 28 broken tackles from him and a long of 48. Jeremy O'Sullivan reviving his career here in Albuquerque. Marcus Levy kind of in the doghouse after he was really bad at the end of last season. He was bad in the preseason. Maybe he'll get some more action in the future still. Ben Strong had a touchdown. McGuire ran in twice. Frank's got a little bit of action. Wolford continues to get more involved in the offense, both in the receiving game and at the fullback position. Abraham, 4 carries for 4 yards. Jimmy Andrews also had 3 yards on that one end around, very nearly had 6. Still no 1,000-yard season here. Morton and Andrews were very split, and take a look at all of these stats from Jimmy Andrews. He has gotten so close to 1,000 yards several times in his career, but couldn't quite get there. He couldn't do it against the Chargers. He had 5 touchdowns this season. Of course, Morton with 12. He had just under 1,000 a year ago too, on about 11 more catches this year. Glenn Nash, almost 700 yards, 3 touchdowns for him. Von Lewis got into the end zone 5 times. Wolford got in twice through the air. Daniels, 180 receiving yards, 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the rookie John Mike Griffith. Burt Myers had 2 touchdowns as well. When it comes to our offensive line, Watson played great. We have the best offensive line in the NFL just based off of overall, although I think that's going to change in the offseason. Nate Cobb did struggle, though, giving up 13 sacks. Tommy Wynn led this defense in tackles, the best defense in Vipers history. Look at all of these TFLs. We had 3 guys there with 11. Of course, the 20-sack season from Robbie Berger. Diggs still had 8. And then after that, it was pretty spread out. But Berger was just beating all these other guys to the quarterback first. A lot of guys there with 1. And then 6 picks for Darren Gordon, 5 for Jerry Gray, 2 for Wynn, and then, or actually 4 for Wynn, 2 for Hester and Coleman. A lot of guys here with 2 or just 1. Catches allowed, 13 from Vincent Rogers. 15 passes deflected by Gordon, 11 by Wynn, who also forced 2 fumbles. We recovered a handful of those fumbles as well, and we got 4 defensive touchdowns, all in the first half of the season, I believe. Brian Koch only missed 2 kicks throughout the season with a long of 60. He also hit every extra point. Sleeper Corrales, almost 40 punts for him, 46 yards per punt, not bad at all. 1 kick return touchdown for John Mike Griffith, over 700 kick return yards. He was also a pretty solid punt returner, averaging 8 yards a return. Now we have to see who the MVP is. You guys are finding out at the same time as I am, going down to yearly awards. And it goes to Lomas Gonzalez, well deserved by him. Antonio McGuire would have been quite the Cinderella story, almost Kurt Warner-esque. Backup quarterback comes in, wins the MVP, but he can't quite do it. But of course, again, well deserved by Lomas Gonzalez. Michael Brown came 3rd in voting. Then you got Reggie McKenzie, the linebacker for the Cowboys, and then Jake Gordon at 5th. Michael Brown won Offensive Player of the Year, though, so a good runner-up for him. And Antonio McGuire came in 4th place here. Bill Sanders in 5th. Of course, Reggie McKenzie getting that kind of recognition will be getting Defensive Player of the Year ahead of Knight, Stewart, Thomas, and Carson. Chad Hamilton out of Wyoming, the rookie running back, is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year ahead of the Patriots' Ronald Burns. You have Stephon Tyson of the Broncos, Mitch Terry on those Arizona Cardinals, and then Hardy for the Miami Dolphins, a nice surprise out of the 4th round, the Penn State wideout. Linebacker CJ Williams wins Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Cardinals, 6 sacks, 4 interceptions, and a fumble recovered. Then you have Ethan Grimm, Keith Thomas, Rob Johnson, and Randy Taylor. 5 picks for the young man. McGuire does walk away with some hardware, though. You lead the league in both passing yards and touchdowns. You're going to win the Best Quarterback Award ahead of Benji Barton, Wayne Rivers, Dwayne Carter, and Max Hawk. Michael Brown manages to somehow win Best Running Back over Lomas Gonzalez. I guess he was a little bit more efficient and had 1 more touchdown, but Gonzalez still got the MVP, so he can't be too upset about that. Jermaine Greer's name is up here as well. Beal had a great first season in Minnesota. Clay finishes 2nd in voting. Then you got Hakeem Morton, despite not even having 1,000 yards. Then Cedric Blake and Marco Truman. Best offensive lineman, we got 3 Vipers up here, and then 2 Cincinnati Bengals. Best defensive lineman, it goes to our boy Robbie Berger. You got Lake Doe, Kevin Gora, Sylvester, and Gray. way up here. Reggie McKenzie, of course, is going to win the Best Linebacker award with that phenomenal season that he had. Hudson is the best DB there for the Pittsburgh Steelers, followed by Emmanuel, Michaels, Gamble, and Carney. And then Ricardo Rivers is going to win the Best Kicker award. Then you got Collert, Henson, Ambrose, Price. No sighting of Koch. That's okay. He's already won that award several times. Eric Mangini is your Coach of the Year, despite Brian Billick nearly going undefeated this season. But I mean, hey, if you can make the Bengals relevant, good for you. Here's a quick look at the Pro Bowl roster. Antonio McGuire, QB1 for the NFC, along with Rivers and Hawk. You got Greer up here. Ben Strong making it as the fullback, so he's representing the Vipers there, as is Hakeem Morton. Of course, when you have a bunch of offensive linemen rated up there for Offensive Lineman of the Year, a lot of them are going to be making it. No Chris Diamond in what looks to be potentially his final season for the Vipers. So you got Berger up here on the defensive side of the ball. And nope, not quite it. You got Gordon up there as well. Jerry Gray's going to make the Pro Bowl for us. On the AFC side, there's Benji Barton, Dwayne Carter, Dexter Parker, although the Bengals are looking to be very busy by the time the Pro Bowl would be rolling around, as they want to go to the Super Bowl for the first time since the 80s, which would be kind of funny because this is 2022, very close to when they made it in real life in 2021.
Center. I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action.
The wild card round starts off in Oakland as the Raiders look to take down the Baltimore Ravens, who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Glenn Payton had more interceptions than touchdowns, a down season for him, but still able to get a winning record and get Baltimore to the playoffs, and that is going to be a big reception right there by Kyle O'Donnell, the Offensive Rookie of the Year when they won that Super Bowl. He had 1,500 yards this season, and he's one of the best running backs in the NFL. Fighting forward and picking up a big play right there, 15 yards on the ground. Now Payton's going to fake the give to him, and well done by the offensive line right there, taking a shot to the end zone, and that's going to be caught by Chris Jenkins. Parrish Walker now has more interceptions than touchdowns. Can he get the job done here and just keep the Raiders alive before Malone comes back? Not if he's fumbling the football away like that, as the Ravens jump on top of it and capitalize on it with a field goal to take a 10-point lead. Chad Hamilton won the Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he has fumbled the football 8 times. They're not going to give it to him right here. Instead, the pass is going to be caught, and that's going to be a touchdown. Parrish Walker gets the Raiders in. Now, the Raiders did make the playoffs a season ago with Parrish Walker, but they ultimately lost to the Cincinnati Bengals in the wild card round. Now the Baltimore Ravens are going to be losing Glenn Payton after a nice throw right there. Ultimately, the drive would then stall out because of his absence, and that means the Ravens are only going to have a 6-point lead. Walker looking to air this one out deep, but it's going to be intercepted by Billy Richards. The safety comes down with a big play. Payton back in the ballgame here for Baltimore. He has a man wide open in the flat. He takes the harder throw, but you know what? It still works out. That's a 13-point lead for the Ravens. 15 seconds left before the end of the first half, and Walker is going deep, looking for his man Lamar James. Makes it a 6-point game before the end of the first half of play. Into the second half now, Baltimore with that 6-point lead. Pass is going to be intercepted. Big play here for the Oakland Raiders. Taking this one down the right side, Fred Rivers with a much-needed pick 6 as the Silver and Black get their first lead of the afternoon. Payton throwing this one on the screen here, and O'Donnell's going to cough it up. It's another turnover going in the Raiders' favor. O'Donnell shaken up on the play, but he will return in this one. That fumble would turn into 3 points for Ronnie Hamilton, making it a 4-point game. Baltimore looking to recapture the lead. Payton letting this one fly deep downfield, and it's going to be caught. Chris Jenkins with an unbelievable reception. Now on 4th down and inches, Figgins is in the ball game, and they're going to give it to him, keeping this drive alive. 3.5 minutes left in the game. Peyton fires that one over the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Tucker with the big play right there for the Raiders as they're looking for their first playoff win in 20 seasons. Chad Hamilton coughs up the football. Billy Richards with the fumble recovery. He's going to take this one the distance. A scoop and score touchdown. The Raiders go from running out the clock to now having to go downfield and put together a game-tying drive, but it's not going to happen if Craig Jackson or Gabe Long is out here getting big interceptions for Baltimore, and the Ravens are looking to go on another Super Bowl run. The late game on Saturday is in Detroit. The Atlanta Falcons are traveling to the Detroit Lions. Sharice Morris had 25 interceptions this season. Not a great year from him. Despite him, they were still able to go 9-7 and make the playoffs. And he's going to start off this game with a beautiful ball out to Robert Wallach down the left sideline right there. He had 7 touchdowns in 1,500 rushing yards of his own. He's going to get the ball here. Got some good blocking, a nice stiff arm, but ultimately just stopped for 9 yards on that play. The drive would stall out, and Atlanta would have to settle for a field goal early on. Wayne Rivers, his second year as the Lions starter. First time they've won their division in about a decade now, and they're looking for another nice playoff win right here as Schneidmiller is going to be gone. Detroit is on the board. They would get the football back. Javon Smith forced to be the running back for this game because Cabrani Jarvis is out for this one. Rivers throwing this one on the move. It's going to be caught, and that's going to be a solid gain. But Wayne Rivers would go down with a concussion, keeping him out for the next 2 weeks. So if the Lions do end up winning this game, Brock Flowers will be the one starting. He's going to be moving around in the pocket, take a shot deep to his tight end, Tony Kane, who gets them inside of the red zone. Trying to punch it into the end zone now, and they're going to say he crossed the plane. Touchdown for Javon Smith. The Lions would get the football back. Flowers, the 2010 Offensive Rookie of the Year, with a beautiful throw right there. Stopped shy of the end zone, though, meaning Detroit had to settle for a field goal. Will that end up costing them? Into the second half of play now. They're looking for another big gain. Flowers letting this one go deep to Schneidmiller. He gets across the 30 as he is now over 100 yards receiving. Play fake now, and Flowers is taken down as the fullback Marsh got flattened on the play by Young, who comes down with sack number 43 of his young career. That kick is going to be up and good, though. It is 20-3. And now the Falcons faced a 4th down and goal. They have to go for this down by 17, and somehow they're going to come down with it despite all that traffic. Detroit would respond with a field goal, and now there is under a minute left to go in this game. But this is going to be a big play by Alfred Brandon. The tight end manages to outrun the entirety of the Lions defense, but it won't matter if they can't recover this onside kick. There are a lot of Detroit Lions players right there to jump on top of it, and they're going to be moving on to the divisional round without their star quarterback. Now on Sunday afternoon, it's the Houston Texans and New York Jets. These teams actually have a history of playing going back to 2013, where the Houston Texans took down the 15-1 Jets in the AFC Championship game en route to their first ever Super Bowl title. And then last year in Houston, the Jets went down there and lost 38-35. Brian Jackson starts off the scoring for the New York Jets with a touchdown. They would then trade field goals. That pass was going to be picked off, which means Luke Douglas, who was actually drafted in the first round by the Jets, never took a snap for him, though. He is in the ball game for the Houston Texans, and he has been giving out gifts all season. 25 interceptions in the regular season. It's 26 now throughout the entire season after that horrible pick 6. Now down 17-3, they got Jason Crawford in the backfield, the 2-time MVP. But maybe they should give it to him a little bit more because Luke Douglas just threw his second interception of the afternoon, which the New York Jets would turn into 3 points. Now down by 17, Luke Douglas looking to throw. He's going to be intercepted yet again. And oh no, this looks like it's going to be another interception for the New York Jets, the Jets, Jets. The fans have got to be loving it. Douglas cannot believe the performance he is having in primetime right here. 27-3. make it another interception. Will this be another pick six for the New York Jets? He has thrown 3 touchdowns for the Jets in this game. That is more than he ever threw in his time with the gang green. After a garbage time touchdown for the Houston Texans, it is interception number 5. This has to be one of the worst playoff performances I have ever seen. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Houston loses by 24. And then finally, in our nation's capital, it's the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. The winner of this game goes to Albuquerque in the divisional round. Andrew Hester, his first year with the Washington Redskins was not a bad one. He's going to fire that one downfield. It's going to be caught by the former New Orleans Saint, Keenan Long, and that drive would result in a field goal, tying this game up at 3 apiece as Minnesota hit a field goal on their first drive of the game. Craig Smith, a little bit of a sophomore slump, but still a very good quarterback as he has returned Minnesota to glory between him and head coach Phillip Rivers. Kyle Cumberland with a big catch downfield. That's going to get Minnesota into field goal range at the end of the first half here and give them a slight lead. Now we're going to jump to the fourth quarter of play where Minnesota is kicking yet another field goal. This has been a very defensive battle, 9-3. Hester in the ball game now looking to throw. He's going to get hit as he lets that one go. Should have been intercepted, but maybe even worse than that, he is out for the rest of the playoffs now with a torn pec, meaning if Washington wins this game, it's up to 4th round or 5th round pick Daniel Smith to take them to the Super Bowl. He's going to get taken down right here on 3rd down, and that's going to result in a Redskins punt. Now with under 4 minutes left to go in the game, and that is going to be a backwards run by Craig Smith, who is limping off the field, meaning former 1st overall pick Benji Owens is in the ball game, and he might have to win this one for Minnesota. He's going to take a shot deep right here, and it's going to be caught by Demetrius Beal in his first year for the Vikings. He has a spectacular catch right there after putting up some spectacular numbers. Their starting running back, just like Detroit, is also hurt, so the backup has to punch this one into the end zone. Now for the 2-point try, it's also going to be good, meaning Minnesota is going to have a nice lead here up by 14 with under 3 minutes left to play. Daniel Smith with a clean pocket. He's going to let this one fly downfield, and it looks like his man has got a step. The Redskins are not going down without a fight, but their defense needs to get a stop. With 2 minutes left to play, the backup running back coughs up the football for Minnesota. Lindy cannot be making mistakes like that, but the Redskins have to convert a 4th down and 16 if they want to keep these Super Bowl dreams alive. They are unable to do so, meaning the Minnesota Vikings are going to be going to Albuquerque next week. Taking a look at the divisional round matchups, the Ravens are going to be traveling to the Colts. Of course, we got the Vikings at the Vipers. The Jets, who already took down the Bengals once this season, they play again. And then the Lions travel to the Saints in a playoff rematch from a year ago. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leaving a like is always very much appreciated. And until next time, this has been Jeffrey.